G'day guys, welcome back. Hope we're all hope we're all going well. Apologise for the birds back there, I forgot to take him out. So I have to talk over him. Today we're going to get into the final stages of this Porsche build. So it'll be mainly putting the back on, putting this interesting part which activates the rear wing. So we'll take a more deeper look into that. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, let me zoom that out for a little bit. So here we've done the completion, well, I wouldn't say the completion of the back, but as the parts we talked about before that are installed now. So that's all looking good there. And that's what I was talking about, the outside before, with the grille there. And I didn't want to paint that the same colour as the body colour. I think it looks, stands out a bit more like that, so I'm happy with that. And I'm also happy with the two lights, how they are matching rather than a full red one to sort of like one that's not. It just looks weird to me. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Now what we're going to go on with, that is the back is partially done, is show you this part here. So this part's been painted as well, and it's just been painted black. We've got to fit all the parts on this. So like as you can see, where is it? No, it's further on down the page, but we'll get into that later. So, but that's that all painted up. But what we're going to concentrate on here now is, if I can zoom in here and show you this part here. We're going to be concentrating on this part here. So what I'm going to do is, as you can see there, there's quite a bit to this. So all the cogs and stuff like that, springs there to activate how this is actually going to work. So what I'll do is I'll do one and then I'll do one on camera. So I'll do one on first so I completely understand it on how it works, and it should be quicker once we get into this. Okay, I've put this side together. This is the left hand side, so going back there, that's our left hand side there. Done. So what I've got to make sure to do is get this spring, as you can see this spring here, I've got to make sure that is in the correct position. So that's the left hand side done. So what it's telling me to do is actually push this down like so. So it's in the lower position, and this little device here, once you pull that back, or is it forward? I think it's back, up it comes. So that's how it works. So yeah, so the way to do that is we've got our pieces here. As you can see, these are all the pieces that are required. So we've got that little spring there. That little springy bit goes into this piece here. And then, so what we've got there is, and then we've got our casing there. So this is the part where we're going to be installing it in. So what I'm going to make sure I've got to do is lay that down, grab this piece here. Now what I've got to do is put this into, got to make sure I put in the correct, make sure that's facing that way, because that would that's going to go, this little spring, make sure I'm putting it in the correct way, goes into there like so. I'm just got to hold that in there if it'll let me. It's been a little bit non-cooperative, but make sure I've got that. I'm going to turn that around because that's not right in that correction there. So I've got to make sure I'm putting it in this position here. Oh, sorry, no, I got the, hang on, I'm looking at make sure I'm looking at this correctly in the right one. So it's got to go into there, into that one there, right there. So I'll just lift that up, put that into there, and it's a bit fidgety, that's for sure. Oh, come on. Just hold that there, put that into place there. Alright, I've got to make sure that that looks correct. I've got to push that down, I think. Doesn't look correct, does it? Because that's got to line in with that. Turn that around. So that's got to face like that. In that position. Now what I've got to do is, after that, is to put these in there. These have got little holes in them, as you can see, and they got to fit into the little lug, the small one on the right hand side. Very difficult to find that. That's in position. Then we got the bigger one, which has another hole in there. To put it in there, it's got another little lug. So yeah, there's a lot of pieces that I really don't want it to move, really. So come on. It's been a little bit uncooperative, but there we go, that's in there. Now what we've got to do is, after that, is to put our spring in through here, through the bigger one. Slide it down there. Then we grab our piece here. It's going to hold our rear wing. I've got to make sure I go through the bigger one. As you can see, there's two holes there. And I got that wrong, actually. Got that wrong. This is not meant to go through the bigger one. It's meant to go through the smaller one. Which I'm going to have to check the other one, because I don't think I did that with that one. So there we go there, through the smaller one. The spring goes in through the bigger hole. And then that will easily slide down like that. Now I don't want that to go all the way down yet. Alright, so that's that. Then we've got our two cogs here. This is our two cogs here. As you see them. Now one of them goes into this position here, like so. And the other one goes, where's it? Oh yes, goes in that smaller hole there, like that. So that's that done. So therefore, that's hopefully all in the correct position. Then we put our casing over this, like so. And so hopefully that little springy bit is on the outside, and it's not, so I'm going to have to open that up again, get that little spring bit to actually go there, so it fits into there. And I'll just, it's a little bit fidgety. Pick that up. And out, oh no, it popped out. So I'll just hold it there, see if I can get this on. While it's on the outside. Hopefully. Yep, I think, oops, no, it's just not there. Oh yeah, it's out. It's out, so as you can see that little, if it'll focus in for me, see that little spring bit, it's got to be outside the casing for it to activate, for it to work. So now what I can do is put the screws in, which I should have gotten them ready really. So the SC1 screws, so I'll just lay that down, grab one of them. There's about 7 of them you got to do. So what I'll do is I'll tighten it all up and then we'll come back. And there we go guys, I've tightened up all the screws, and that's now, if I should push that down, that should activate. Yep. Pull that trigger back and it should come up. So that's both of them down now, so a relief. So I'll move on to the next stage, which will be still connecting on with this part here. We're putting some sort of rod in between the two parts that we just did. And we've got a couple more cogs to go in there as well on the outside by the looks of it, as we can see here in this area here. So I'll get cracking on with that and I'll come back. Okay guys, I've got the the parts in. Had to put it installed because it was too fidgety to show as I was doing it, but basically that rod's in there. This arm piece goes through, as you can see there, goes through there, and that little trigger there, when I press the rego plate in, this will all push in and activate the spoiler to come up in its up position like it is now, and then I can just push the spoiler back down and then hit that button again, the rego plate, and then it'll pop up again. So that's the way it works out. So moving on, as you can see, it explains in the book right there. See the arrows, push it down and then these pop up. So on to our next stage, which will be this part here. So I'll get cracking on putting on all the parts in there, including this part here, and we'll come back and see what it looks like. Okay, just to show you the final assembly of the rear. So that's the spoiler all done. As you can see, the push button to activate the rear spoiler is now all fitted, assembled. I'm not going to push this down yet because I've only just put that transfer on, so I want to wait till that fully dries. So that's it for that. So that's looking fantastic. Happy with that. So we move on to this middle part here now. So which is this here. So now I'll just put that over there and we grab. So this is this part here now. So we've put all the parts on that needs to be put on. So this will open and close. So yeah, that's all done with the hinges on there as well. And we turn it over, and yeah, that's what we get. That looks fantastic. Looks really good. So very happy with that. So I'll go ahead and attach this to the back of the body, and yeah, we'll see what that looks like. Okay guys, we've got the rear on now, so that's all on, as well as the don't know if you even call this part a bonnet, a boot. That's all on now. Then we've got the great looking material that's on there, and this will eventually just slide up if I can get to it. That just yeah, goes up. That'll stay up, so to reveal the engine, and that's looking good. I'm quite happy with that. And So what is it? And then we put then we screw it down with the 3 positions here that get screwed in. Now our next step, once I move that out the way, which I'll show, is putting on the headrest that goes along here. So that's our next step. Now that step consisted of, I think it was about 5 parts. There we go there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's a clear part right here. That's a clear part, clear plastic part that goes in between these two there. So, and I've already put that together. And as you can see there, as we might, if I turn this around, so we can get a closer look, I hope. All right, there we go. So there we go there. That's, you know, you really light there, and that you won't be able to see that, but in there, and in there's the clear part. Actually, you probably can see because the light is actually shining on it. So that is that there. So that consisted of 4 or 5 parts, I think. So that's looking good. So now what I can do is bring this back over, turn the page here, because don't have to. It says not to glue it. So down here, it says not to glue it. So strange. I don't know why you don't need to glue it when. Anyway, but. Alright, but what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to continue on getting the rest of this put together. You'll see the final end piece once all the wheels are on. And the wheels that before I start putting all that together, the wheels that go on like a nut. So that's your special tool that you get to actually put the wheels on. So. But basically, it's all looking good. But I'll go ahead and do that, and we'll see the final result. So sorry, just before we do go and have a final look at the car, just to show you the roof itself. So they're 2-part for the convertible. So those are those. So this is Pro Scale. It's textured grey, so that's the Pro Scale textured grey. I've just got that's the photo edge pieces that are gone in there, so I've just got to paint them up to the body colour. And you've got this little pin here that goes underneath the A-pillar, and so like as you've seen before, the headrest, how they had the magnet, so that'll connect up with that there. So that's that there, that's them there, so they're all done, ready to go in. Now, also, this has bags, sort of like a briefcase bags, which tucks in behind the actual seat. So that goes there, and then also it has a pouch, which you can see there, which goes underneath the middle console. So there's a gap there which you put that in. So yeah, bit of a nice touch. But yeah, our next step is see the final finish.